Okay. In the Bible and throughout Christian history, one guy would come with his daughter, and one other guy would come with his son and a bunch of chickens and donkeys, and then the guy with the son and the chickens would give the chickens and the donkeys to the guy with the daughter, and then the guy with the daughter would give the daughter to the guy with the son, and now guy has no daughter but has a bunch of chickens and donkeys, and now other guy doesn't have chickens and donkeys, and his son has the other guy's daughter. And
okay, yes.
Okay. So
yes.
Okay, so that used to happen all the time, and for like every marriage for Christians forever, for a long time, since whenever.
Right.
So
it's chickens and donkeys. Yeah.
So why don't we do that now?
Okay.
And what's up with that? That's a marriage thing that is marriage.
Yeah. Okay. So the question really is more, why don't we do that now in our country?
Right. But also, what is that? Why was that ever a thing, and where'd that come from?
Okay. For example, we actually see this in Genesis. And
really?
Yeah. So we see this actually with Isaac.
Is this when he had to go bale hay for 7 years and then?
Okay, that was actually Jacob.
Oh, okay.
All right. That's Isaac's son.
Oh, right. Okay.
Jacob, where Jacob wants to get married to Rachel and works for 7 years, and then the husband,
right,
or her father, does a little okey doke and says, "Nope, you got the older daughter, Leah,
I really
first.
want your hot daughter, but I only have 2 chickens."
Right, and so and
must get more chickens.
No, it wasn't like that at all. But anyways, so that's that situation where Jacob had to work 7 years. Was allowed to marry Leah. Had to work 7 more years to marry Rachel. All right, that's her sister.
Right.
All right, but with Isaac, it's a little bit different than that. And so Isaac is, the promised child. Abraham wants to make sure that he's got a proper wife, and so in Genesis chapter 24, Abraham actually sends one of his servants to go find a wife for Isaac.
Oh, I remember this. I think.
Yeah. And that concept in of itself sounds crazy, right? Like, let's just go find somebody, right? And so, I mean, anybody.
All right, Isaac, what are you into?
Oh, Lord. So what he does is he actually sends Isaac back to his...
He walks up to women and holds a tape measure behind him.
No.
Not fit for a king.
Oh, Lord. All right. Excuse Nate. All right. So there's...
Not me. The Bible's messed up, man.
Well, all right. But so, all right. So Abraham doesn't want Isaac to marry one of the daughters of the Canaanites. Okay. Doesn't want...
Okay.
And so he sends his servant to go back to his family, to Abraham's family, to go find a wife there from that land and from his family. Okay.
So, okay.
Yeah. And so he goes looking, for a wife, and then he brought out objects. It says, so when all this has been finalized, she says fully yes. Then the servant brings out objects of silver, and verse 53, silver and gold and garments, and gave them to Rebekah. He also gave precious gifts to her brother and her mother. And so again, this is the bride price. Like here's the gifts I'm giving.
Okay.
And please allow, your daughter, your sister come back with me. So, yeah. So we find that in scripture early on.
All right. So then from that point, we did that forever until
in some countries, this still happens.
Okay.
And so in some cultures and countries, societies, this kind of stuff still happens. There's still dowries. There's still bride prices. Like, those things still exist.
Okay.
Obviously, it doesn't in our society. So we kind of look at it and go, that's a little strange. But again, it does exist.
I feel like there's versions of it. Like
Yeah.
the guy has to take the girl out to dinner and buy stuff.
Right. Well, you see like a ring, like the
and a
engagement ring,
Right.
for example, it's kind of similar to that, right?
Yeah.
Like here's this, item of value that I'm giving you, and I think even the way we see like weddings, right? Like, because traditionally in our society, it's been the woman's family that's paid for the weddings,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been the man's family that paid for the rehearsal dinner. And, so you've got those traditions built in, and those aren't held to, I don't think, as strictly anymore as they once were.
So it's assumed that the man has paid for everything during the whole courting process and the ring, and now
and will continue to provide.
Okay,
right.
And the woman's family pays for the wedding is like the whatever the other thing is.
Yeah, kind of like the dowry.
The dowry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, hey, this is what we're going to offer.
So we still do this.
There is. Yeah, it's a form of it, right?
Okay.
It looks different than just handing over chickens or goats, but yeah, there's still a form of this, because like back then, it's like, remember the male is the one who's providing for the family, right? And so if a bride's family gives something to them, it helps them start off their marriage in a positive way, without so much burden being on the male to have to produce even more so now that he is married and has to provide for his own family.
Okay.
Right? Because, and again, especially this day and time, where you have no birth control, those kind of things, getting married means kids are coming pretty quick.
Okay.
And so you have to provide for all of that. And so this was just a way kind of like setting up a family to be able to be okay.
Okay. So this isn't really bad.
No, it's not necessarily bad.
Okay.
I mean,
why do people make this seem bad?
I think it can be bad. I mean, it can be bad.
Okay.
It can be bad when they're literally like everything's done for financial gain from one side, especially the bride price. The bride price, I feel like, is the one that gets abused the most. Okay. Like, in other words, in some cultures, if you just pay enough money, you can have my daughter.
Oh.
Like that's where it's like not okay. Because in some of those cultures, that is like the only thing the daughter is viewed as having value in.
So your daughter's like being auctioned off.
Correct. It's like, how much money can my daughter
make me? Okay.
Yeah. Because she herself isn't going to earn income and those kind of things. So her getting married is the way that she's providing for this family.
Oh.
And so in some cultures, whether it's Asian cultures or African cultures, this can get really messed up, to be honest with you, where you have people that are absolutely just coming in, abusing this situation. I will pay you X amount of dollars for your daughter, and literally just take the daughter and hand over money to the father. So it's
and then sell the daughter to other people, and
and then and that's where we have a lot of human trafficking and sex trafficking derives from that.
Okay.
So so it absolutely bad. So it absolutely can be abused, and
so it's literally just, the family is the first step in the trafficking.
Yeah.
Of the daughter.
Mm-hmm. And there's missionaries we know that work with this situation, especially in areas like, Thailand or whatever, like the daughters are actually sent out to prostitute themselves to send money back to the families.
Oh.
Yeah. And so it's whether prostitute themselves or find a husband or whatever, right? But they've got to get money back to the family. And so and
that's their job.
That's their job. Yeah. That's how they're going to bring value. And often it's the oldest daughter will get tabbed with having to do that.
Why?
Because
they want money quicker.
Yeah.
All right.
And that money can go to help take care of the rest of the family.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's almost like she's sacrificed in some ways for the greater good of the family. It's the way it's viewed, but obviously you and I know that's just not okay at all. Right. To reduce anyone down to just a transactional item. So